Hey everyone, have you ever been at a pool or the beach, looked up at the lifeguard and wondered, what does it really take to do that job? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the entire process of becoming a certified lifeguard right here in South Carolina, from that very first test in the water to your first day on the job. So let's just start with the big question, right? Do you have what it takes to wear the whistle? You see them up there, always watching, always ready. But it takes a pretty unique mix of skill, confidence, and focus. Let's find out what that really looks like. Okay, first up, let's talk about what this opportunity is all about. Because, being a lifeguard is so much more than just a cool summer job. It's a huge responsibility that honestly comes with some pretty great rewards. And let's start with one of the most practical rewards, the pay. In South Carolina, you can expect to earn between $15 and $21 an hour as a certified lifeguard. We're not talking about just a little summer pocket money here. That's a really competitive wage for a job that requires some serious skill. So you get the certification, but where can you actually work? Well, the answer is pretty much anywhere there's water. Seriously, community pools, summer camps, state park beaches, the Y, even those big fancy water parks or private country clubs. This one certification unlocks a ton of different job opportunities. All right, so before you even think about cracking a textbook, you have to prove you belong in the water. This next part is all about that first hurdle, the prerequisite swim test. You can think of it as your first official challenge on the path to becoming a guard. But wait, even before that, a quick but important checkpoint, your age. You have to be at least 15 years old by the last day of the class. This is great because it means you can get fully certified and start gaining experience before you even graduate high school. Okay, now for the physical challenge. It's broken down into three main parts. First up, a 300-yard swim, non-stop, to show you've got the endurance. Next, you've got to tread water for 2 full minutes using only your legs. Yeah, no hands. Why? Because in a real rescue, your hands are going to be busy helping someone. And finally, the brick test. You have to dive down, grab a 10-pound brick from the bottom, and swim it back to the side. This whole thing simulates the strength and speed you'd need to rescue someone who's gone under. It's tough for sure, but every single part proves you're ready for the real deal. So, you pass the physical test. You're in. Now we get to the heart of it all, the comprehensive training course where you're going to learn the skills that actually save lives. You're looking at a 26.5-hour commitment. This time is split up between learning in the classroom and tons of hands-on practice right there in the water. It's a serious time investment, and for good reason. The skills you're learning are incredibly serious. And in that time, you'll cover a huge range of rescue techniques. Believe me, it is so much more than just swimming out to grab someone. You'll master the right way to enter the water for different situations, how to handle someone who's actively panicking versus someone who's unconscious, and even how to manage a chaotic scene with more than one person in trouble. Now, this is one of the most critical things you will learn, how to manage a potential spinal injury. This is where one wrong move could have devastating consequences, which is why the training is so detailed. You'll learn exactly how to hold someone's head and neck stable in the water, and how to correctly use a backboard to get them out safely. And your job doesn't stop when you pull someone from the water. You're a first responder, period. So the course fully integrates CPR and first aid. You'll get trained on how to use an AED, that's an automated external defibrillator, and even how to use a bag valve mask to help someone breathe. These are absolutely vital skills. So how do they know you've actually learned all this? Well, the final test isn't some easy multiple choice exam. Nope. It's a series of super realistic, high-pressure mock rescues. You'll be thrown into different scenarios where you have to put all your training together under pressure and prove you can handle it. You did it. You passed the scenarios. You earned that whistle. Congratulations. Now, let's talk about what that certification actually means and how it gets you ready to land that first job. Okay, so here are the key details all in one place. The course costs $395. Your certification is good for 2 years, and it's not just accepted in South Carolina, it's recognized nationally. That makes it a really valuable and portable credential to have. And where do people go once they're certified? Well, this is just a small sample of the top employers in the state, from the South Carolina state parks and beach patrols, all the way to YMCAs and private clubs. These are real-world career paths that all start with this exact certification.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to what a recent grad, Sarah, had to say. She said, the instructors were amazing. I felt fully prepared when I applied for my first beach lifeguard job. The training was hands-on and realistic. That really says it all, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Getting certified doesn't have to be the end of the road. For a lot of people, it's actually just the beginning of a whole career path. So let's take a look at where you can go from here. First, let's just quickly clarify the options. If you're starting from scratch, you'll take that full 26.5-hour course. But remember, the certification is only valid for 2 years. So when it's time to renew, you'll take a much shorter recertification course to refresh your skills and get you good for another 2 years.
And what if you want to work somewhere that isn't a pool, like a lake or an ocean beach? You can specialize. There are add-on courses like waterfront lifeguard training for those exact environments. You can also grab extra certs in things like administering emergency oxygen to make yourself an even more valuable hire.
And the career path doesn't have to stop there. If you're interested in leadership, the next logical step could be becoming a pool activity leader. This is a role that builds on your experience and teaches you about supervision and management, setting you up for even higher level jobs down the road.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire journey, from that first challenging swim test all the way to advanced career options. We've seen the skills it takes, the dedication it requires, and the rewards you can earn. I guess the only question left is the one right there on your screen. The pool is open. Are you ready?